More radical alternatives are being explored. Well, from the look of these new pictures from May Day, well, these seem to be, well, pretty radical alternatives to me. Now, the protest quickly turned into a violent and dangerous scene of smashing store windows, attacking police, defacing bank and storefronts. Joining me now to explain what the motives of this group really are, Occupy Wall Street organizer Harrison Schultz. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
I appreciate it.
Let me start by saying thank you for letting a dirty hippie come in and explain his views.
Is it dirty? Do you want to take a shower?
Well, no, this is the way your news network is portraying us.
Did I ever say you were dirty? Did I say you were a hippie? Did I say any of that?
Yeah, in August. You were making fun of my friends.
I was making fun. You mean the ones that were having sex in public, doing drugs, defecating on cars, and those around other cities that were actually being violent, breaking store windows, cursing out police and all that? You mean those guys? Those guys?
No,
because I have tapes of all of that.
Those were the people that the NYPD was actually sending down to the park in order to discredit us and make us look bad.
Yeah, and then why?
And actually give your network something to focus on.
Something to focus. So you were in Zuccotti Park.
I stopped hanging out right around the NYPD.
You were at Zuccotti Park, yes or no? Were you at Zuccotti Park?
Oh, yeah.
Then why did they have to set up a special protective rape-free zone tent? Because all the rapes that took place down there in Zuccotti Park with your friends.
Because the NYPD was sending rapists down to the park.
So the NYPD, you have any evidence to back that?
This was in the NYPD. This was in the NY Times.
I asked you a question.
New York Times.
The New York Times said that the police sent rapists to rape women down there.
They sent alcoholics. They sent offenders. They sent people that were convicted of rapes.
You have any evidence to back it up?
I can get testimonies. I mean, I didn't bring my files with me, but you can check this out on the internet.
The New York Police Department brought rapists in, and as a result, women were raped. So a special rape protective zone was set up?
You got to admit, it was a really cynical, really effective tactic on the part of the authorities. They knew that we wouldn't turn people away because we like to help people like Christians should, even though most of us aren't Christian. But they definitely exploited a lot of our values and turned it against us and sent people that we tried to help.
What about the violence that took place in other cities, and the broken store windows, and the sex in public, and the drug use in public, and defecating on a police car? Was that a police conspiracy too?
I don't think there's anything particularly radical or
about taking on a car.
That's very straight. That's very cliche. That's very ineffective.
That's very happened. Sex in public happened. Rape at Zuccotti Park happened.
Look, these things are not cool. I denounce those things as well. These things are beyond not cool.
Rape is just not cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's beyond not cool. It's horrible. It's offensive. But I'm trying to keep the conversation.
Let me ask you a question.
Let's keep going.
I have a handbook here called Anarchist Basics. You ever see this?
No, never seen that.
Seen it. In the back of this book, it has a link to a website, Bombs and Shields. You ever been to that website?
Never been to that site.
Yeah. Do you have any? What is your problem with capitalism? What is your problem with the free market? How old are you?
I'm 29, sir.
29. Do you have a job?
How old are you?
I'm 50.
Okay. You look really
a lot younger, right?
Yeah, you do. You look good.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, coming from an Occupy Wall Street guy. Here's a question. 29 years old. You have a job?
I did. I was laid off.
What was your job?
I was a business intelligence analyst for a pay-per-click marketing company. Okay. Before that, I was doing data analysis for an advertising
I don't need your whole life story. How do you make money today?
Well, you looked me up on my resume on LinkedIn, so you probably already know it.
How do you make money today?
Right now, I'm living off student loans.
You live off? Aren't student loans meant for college?
Grad school.
Do you go to college?
I go to grad school.
Okay, you go to grad school, so that also provides money for housing. You have a place to live?
It's all private loans. They give me the money, and that covers my living expenses.
Who gives you the money?
The Access Group, U.S. federal loans. I forget.
All right. I looked at the definition that they have here in what an anarchist is.
You keep changing the subject. Are we talking about loans? Or are we talking about anarchy?
I'm asking you where you were.
I'd like to keep talking about my problems with capitalism personally.
Well, I'm getting to that. You have a problem.
I'd also like to talk about my solutions, too.
You want to host your own show? You can go to work at MSNBC.
I would like to host my own show. In fact, that's what the Occupy movement is all about.
Really?
It's about getting people to start hosting their own shows.
Exactly.
So that they stop listening to people like you. Because we don't need you anymore.
You don't need me.
Hey, did you check the New York Times? Like, TV viewership is actually on the decline. Forrester, 2 years in a row, on the way out.
I hate to tell you something, but this channel has been #1 for 12 years, #1 in this slot for over a decade. So obviously, if the New York Times is all you read, you don't have good information. Now, here's what
see, I don't have a TV, which is why I've never seen your show up until today.
Then what do you know about it? So what do you know about me and my show? What do you know about my thoughts on capitalism? Here's what I take about you.
I don't think you really have have any. I think you're just here to argue and create sensationalism. I don't think there really is any concept.
And the principles of you are, you're going to defend the rapes, and you're going to blame the police.
No,
and you're going to
not hardly defending. I'm telling you where this is coming from.
You said it. You said the police department of New York City brought in rapists so they can blame Occupy people. You deny the violence.
They sent vagrants. They sent alcoholics.
And it was a lot more
people.
And you don't work, you go to school, fair enough, I can live with that.
I am broke, and I am going to start looking for a new job.
What's wrong with capitalism? What?
Oh, actually, the thing is, what's wrong with capitalism?
No.
The fact that the fact that unemployment is about 8%, it's twice that, it's about 16%.
That's right.
For people my age, within my age group. And the issue is that the opportunities just aren't there to pay off this $100 trillion debt that we've been forced to accumulate in order to get jobs that don't exist anymore.
Are you against big business?
No, not necessarily.
Because I saw a lot of kids at Zuccotti Park with
I've worked for big business.
Macs and computers and phones and iPhones and stuff.
Now we're getting into an intelligent discussion.
Here's what I view as capitalism. If you create goods or services that people want, need, and desire, right? And people choose to buy their computers, choose to buy their iPhones, choose to go to Starbucks, they choose to hire somebody, right? Isn't that capitalism?
And you know what? Occupy Wall Street actually fits in with that model in a strange way, because people are definitely consuming the content that we are producing. They're consuming the things that we have to say about networks like this.
So what's wrong with capitalism as I described it?
Well, it's not working anymore.
Why is it not working?
I just told you it's completely failing people such as myself. I just told you.
Well, maybe how many hours did you spend down at Occupy Wall Street? How many days, hours, weeks did you spend there?
Oh, I couldn't.
Well, maybe if you weren't spending your time with the, quote, homeless people that were brought in by the police to rape people, maybe you could have been out looking for a job.
Oh, well, I am actually starting to look for a job now because my funding's starting to run low. So, I mean, if you know anyone that's hiring...
Where does the funding come from, the school or from the government?
Yes.
Do you want the government to provide...
It's very complicated. I don't fully understand it myself.
Yeah, so it comes from the government and it comes from the school?
I guess so.
I guess so. You don't even know. So people give you money to pay for your school and you have no idea. Where do you think the money comes from?
They charge interest back on it.
All right, let me ask, well, do you expect a loan for free? Should you have free school, free college?
People should have free education.
And free health care?
Absolutely.
And free dental care?
Oh, God, yes.
And if you have children...
I could use some free dental care.
If you have children and you need a daycare, should the government give you daycare?
Yes.
And the government should give you a house to live in?
What's your trap?
What are you trying to lure me into? Should the government give you a house? Should they give people transportation to get to work?
Yes, basic necessities such as these things should not. They shouldn't even be given to us by the government. The government and corporations should get off our back, stop enslaving us through debt, so that we can actually do those things that
Who's going to pay for your house, your car, your dental care, your health care, your education? Who pays for that?
Nobody. It's all on debt. Nobody's paying for it.
Everything's free.
We're getting to that point. That's exactly where capitalism is heading.
Everything is free.
Look, seriously, this is crazy.
You don't work, you get free money for school, and you're complaining.
Companies like Google, the most successful companies these days, they give away their products and services for free, right? So people like us, we spend all this time working on these social networks, providing content for them that they sell for ad space. We work.
I have a suggestion for you.
Goods and services, capitalism is becoming increasingly free.
My
suggestion to you is that you should
listen. I don't need your suggestion.
I'm telling you some pretty futuristic, crazy stuff.
I have a suggestion for you. You're 29 years old. Stop wasting your time at Occupy Wall Street. And here's a novel concept. Get up at 6 a.m., shovel some coffee down your throat, hit the pavement, find a job, get to work, stop whining, stop complaining, stop blaming, and get your out of bed like everybody else in America and get to work.
I'm down. Give me a job. I will go to work.
If you pound the pavement and stop hanging out at the Zuccotti Park, you might find one.
Hey, I'm online all day. I'm sending my resume.
I'm online all day.
You found me on LinkedIn too? You found me on LinkedIn too?
Go work as a cook. Go work as a dishwasher. Go work as a contractor. Go do something.
Something more menial? Will that make you happier?
Listen, I did it in my life, and guess what?
I've done it too. I'm done with that.
Keep doing it. Good luck. Go get a job.
I'm done.
Oh, you don't want to do that. That job's beneath you.
Yeah, definitely.
Hanging out with rapists, drug addicts, people having sex in public is more fun.
It's more dignity in that than it is hanging out on a show like this with you.
Okay, listen, I'm glad to say goodbye. See you later. Let not your heart be troubled, our great, great, great American panel. That is coming up next.